This is Math Unmasked for Unit 4, our alternate unit. This is HomeLink 2.8 is our homework for this one. And today in math class, your parents, if you're watching this, we finally switched to, we are multiplying using a reciprocal. So we are actually looking at a division problem. This is the one at the top of your homework. The example they give you, 3/8 divided by 2/5. But the patterns we have noticed in our work let us know that we're going to keep that first number the same. You can see 3/8 just goes here. We are going to flip the division to multiplication, and then we are going to flip this fraction. 2/5 gets flipped so that what was on the bottom is on the top, what was on the top is on the bottom. We call that the reciprocal. And if you're in my class, you get to see me stand on my head. I only do it once a year. Okay, so 5/2 is the reciprocal of 2/5. And then we can just multiply across. 3 times 5 is 15. 8 times 2 is 16. 15/16 is that answer. I'm going to walk us through a couple. These two were in our blue sheets for this week, and this is an additional one where I'm going to model what it looks like when it's a whole number. So the first fraction stays the same. 8/10 stays 8/10. I change the division to multiplication, and then I take 2/3 and I flip it over, so the 3 is now on top, and the 2 is now on the bottom. I multiply across. 8 times 3 is 24. 10 times 2 is 20. I could also rename this as 1 and 4/20, right? Because 20/20 is 1. Or I could rename it as 1 and 1/5. The ones stay the same. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Let's try that with this one. So 1 and 1/2 stays the same. I change the division to multiplication. I flip 3/4 to the reciprocal, so 4 is now on top and 3 is on the bottom. Now, I have two choices for this. I can either think about this using our area method of multiplication, where I take 1 and 1/2 separately times 4/3, right? So 1 times 4/3 is 4/3. 1/2 times 4/3 is 4/6, and then I would have to add these together. But since these have different denominators, an easier way for me to do this might be to rename this as a fraction. So 1 and 1/2 is the same as 3/2. And 3/2 times 4/3 is 12/6. And you'll notice over here, that's what I would have had to do. I would have had to change this into 8/6 to add them together, and 8/6 plus 4/6 is 12/3. What do I do when there's a whole number first? Well, I can think about this as either 3 or 3 wholes. This becomes a multiplication. I flip 3/5 to the reciprocal, so 5 is now on top, 3 is on the bottom, and this becomes 15/3, or a better name for that would be 5. Okay, so this is really step-by-step. If you need to, pull out your multiplication sheet. If you're at home and you don't have one, in our classroom materials on our digital bulletin boards, you've got a multiplication sheet there. But you just really have to take your time, think about that pattern, and work your way through it. Good luck on your homework.